They say Christmas is about forgiveness. I've always disagreed. The fireplace crackled behind my father as he read the final page of his new will. Everyone was there. My mother, my brother Mark, his smug wife Emily, my sister Claire pretending not to look at me. The air smelled of pine and champagne, but underneath it, rot. The kind of rot that comes from years of pretending a family still exists. When Dad said my name, his voice didn't tremble. I've decided that everything, the company, the house, the accounts, will go to Mark. He's better suited to carry the family legacy. Better suited. My glass didn't shake. My jaw didn't clench. I just nodded, as if I'd been waiting for this moment my whole life. In a way, I had. Mark and I weren't always enemies. As kids, we built snow forts together, shared secrets, even took the blame for each other. But when Dad retired, everything changed. Mark saw the business as his kingdom. I was the threat, the reminder that he wasn't the only son worth something. He started small, whispered doubts in Dad's ear, twisted facts. A missing file here, a forgotten report there. When the family's trust fund suddenly showed a few irregularities, Mark made sure the blame fell on me. I confronted him once, in the garage. He just smirked and said, "You were never part of the plan, Daniel." That night, I realized something important. Family isn't blood, it's loyalty. And mine was long dead. I didn't rage, I didn't beg, I waited. While they toasted their Christmas triumph, I slipped away from the table and into Dad's study. I'd been preparing for months, quietly, methodically. Every late night I spent at the company, I'd copied records, traced accounts, followed paper trails Mark thought he'd buried. Offshore transfers, fake invoices, shell companies under Claire's husband's name. I built a map of their greed, every stolen dollar neatly connected. By the time Christmas Eve came, I didn't just know they'd betrayed me, I knew how to destroy them. The plan began the night before the announcement. I sent an anonymous email to the board of directors, complete with evidence of embezzlement, insider trading, and tax fraud. Every signature, every timestamp pointed back to Mark and Claire. I scheduled it to send at midnight on Christmas Day. But that wasn't the real gift. I also arranged for the media to receive copies, along with the trust lawyer who'd helped Mark rewrite the will. They'd wake up to a scandal big enough to burn our family name to ash. All that was left was to sit through one last family dinner. When Dad announced the will, I didn't interrupt, I didn't accuse, I just lifted my glass and smiled. "To family," I said, and they drank. Mark's grin was wide and careless. At 12:01 a.m., the first phone rang. Claire's husband answered it, his face draining of color. Then Dad's lawyer's phone buzzed. Then Mark's. One by one, the room filled with panic. "What did you do?" Mark hissed, his voice trembling. I leaned back, watching the Christmas lights flicker across his pale face. "I just gave you what you gave me," I said. Nothing. The news anchor's voice echoed from the living room TV. "Breaking report, major financial scandal hits the Wentworth family conglomerate." Dad's eyes met mine. For the first time, I saw fear. Not of me, but of the truth. The company folded within weeks. Assets frozen. Reputation shattered. Mark's wife left him. Claire's husband turned state witness. Dad had a stroke 2 months later. People called it tragic. I called it balance. I didn't take a cent from them. I didn't need to. The satisfaction came from the silence, from knowing they finally understood the weight of betrayal. Sometimes, late at night, I drive past the old mansion. The windows are dark now, vines creeping up the stone. The gate still bears the family crest, but it's rusted, forgotten. I don't feel guilt, just clarity. They taught me that blood means nothing without trust, that love, when twisted, becomes a weapon, and that some gifts, the kind wrapped in justice, don't need a bow. On my dashboard sits a single Christmas card. It's from myself, written the night I sent the email. It reads, "Merry Christmas, Daniel. You finally got what you deserved." I smile every time I read it, because I did.